Hello, my name is Junetta Pell, and as you probably can see, I like baskets. I've been making baskets for, I guess 50 years or more, and I'm going to share with you today some general information about baskets. And we're going to start out with looking at bases at the bottom of baskets and the different materials you can use. So to begin with, we can do a basket that has a wooden base in it. This basket has a wooden base. In fact, this is the basket that is for plastic bag storage. So you can pull them out at the bottom in the hole. And I'll share some more with wooden bases as we go along. Here's another one. Everybody likes this with all the color in it, with a wooden base. The bases come in different shapes, squares, rounds, just whatever shape you might need. And this one, as you see, is a square one. I think this is going to be like a little utilitarian basket for the kitchen, or utensil basket for the kitchen. And I'm going to move it out of my way for right now so I can go ahead and show you this one, which is woven out of reed. And this reed is 3/8 inch. We'll talk about reed in a few minutes. And usually when you do a basket like this, you do what's called twining. And that's one of the things I'm going to demonstrate for you today. Twining, and you get reed in a lot of different sizes and widths, and we'll talk a little more about reed in a minute too. This is round reed that I have here, and that's bowl has water in it. You do have to have water when you work with the reed. It has to be damp. Reed has a smooth and a rough side, and when I'm working with baskets or teaching baskets, I have people mark the rough side. The smooth sides, of course, is going to be the outside of your basket. And on this little piece that I'm going to be working on, you can see right here, I think on this side, no, it's this side I've got, you can see the marks on it, probably across the center, and that marks the center. It just makes the whole process a lot easier for you. And I am going to have to move this just a tiny bit. There are lots of tools that you need when you do baskets, and there's scissors, especially baskets that you want to do use for shears that you want to use for cutting the reed. It's not good for good sewing shears, of course. And when I twine, you see I've divided this little piece of round reed in half and made kind of like a little crease there. And to start it, I put it over one of my reeds, my stakes, and have one piece under, one over, and I brought the under piece up. Can you see? And then I take the one to my left and feathers to my left and bring it over, and go over the top under the next one. And the reason this is called twining, I'll hold it up in a minute because I guess I'm white on white. It's a little hard to see. And you do this all the way around the basket, and I'll show you a basket that has this. But can you see the little tiny, maybe even from this side you can see better. And it actually twines, goes across each other right here. This is a nice little way to finish off the basket on the bottom and to close up that little gap. This basket has the twining on it right there, and it helps close that little gap up. Now this is a market basket. Market baskets were baskets from years ago that people had at home. And this is another market basket. Okay, now I would finish this up all the way around. I would come back and dampen these, and I would bend them. They're really dry. I would dampen them, and then I would come back and I would bend them up like this all the way around. That's called upsetting the stakes. These are called stakes or ribs. And I would bend them up all the way around. Then I would come back and start my weaving all the way around. So let's talk a little bit about reeds. As I get the basket reed, I order it from a basket supply weaving company, And this is, of course, not white oak or ash or the materials that they used to use, because white oak is about $100 a pound. This is a pound of reed. So it would be really expensive if I used white oak in baskets. This is a commercial reed. It comes from the Orient, and when I get it, it's already in a pack like this, and it's already been cut down to size. This is 3/8, and what I was using there a while ago twining around was 3/8. But it comes to me like this. That's the natural. This is just another size I picked up. This is 7mm, and it comes also just like that. This is a pack I've used, and I've got Scotch blood in me, I think, so I can't throw anything away when I'm working. Then I get dyed reed, and the dyed reed comes also in a pound, just like that, or half pound. It's more expensive, of course, because the person's had to go through the process of dyeing it. And you can get almost any color. You can also get lots of reed that has several colors on one piece, and that's called space dyeing or variegated dyeing. I'm going to show you this little basket I picked up a few minutes ago. When I say it has a lot of different colors, this is a good example, and a lot of different sizes. I have different size reed in this too. And this is a good example on the bottom of this basket of the twining we were doing a while ago. So the reed, this is all flat that I was just showing you in the reed. There is also a flat oval, and flat oval is what I have on this basket up here around for rim. I use it for a lot of rims on baskets, and especially on the outside. Then the inside may just be a piece of the flat on the inside. And then this is even smaller than what I've shown you. See, it's much, this is probably a 3/16, and this is probably 11/64 on this basket. This is for lashing. And in the, you have a space that you need to have filler at the top of the basket. So this is seagrass that I put in there, and this one has a piece of wood at the top of it. So when you get ready to start the basket, you have to decide, are you going to make it like this with no handle? Or are you going to make it like these with handles? What kind of handle are you going to have? These are called D handles. You can see on this little B basket, I've just taken the reed and made a basket and put beads on it. And then this one is basically the same way. I took 2 long pieces of reed. I planned that when I cut my reed. They come up here, fold over, and come back down, and then I could wrap it at the top. And that's just another type of handle. Let me just show you some other handles. You look at this basket. This basket has 2 round hooks in it, and one of them makes the handle, and one of them comes around here for the rim on the top. The other basket they made out of the same type of pattern, and you see it doesn't have a handle on it, just the rim around the top, but they made handles. The egg basket, those 2 baskets I just showed you, those are the baskets that also you would have found in homes over the years. They were used for egg baskets. That one is called a potato basket. They were used for a lot of chores around the house. This was a garden basket, a market basket. Now, some more of the handles. This is the D shape I was talking about. That's like that. It goes into a basket. And I think I got one of those here. Here's one. This is a D-shaped handle in this little basket. Also notice as I show you these baskets how some of them have dyed reed in them, some of them have very little dyed reed, and notice the patterns that are there too. But this one has the D handle, like this. This one is a handle that is a swing handle, and this part goes down in your basket, and then this handle will swing over out of your way. This is also, it's not open, but it's leather. You can make handles out of leather. On this basket, while we have it and are looking at it, it does have the flat oval piece around here. It has, this is an interesting basket. It does not have a continuous piece of reed on the inside like the others do. It has little pieces of wood that comes inside to give this strength. This is a storage basket. So let's talk a little bit about design in baskets, and you get design in baskets from the way you place the reed in the basket. This is an old basket that I have called an apple basket, and as you see this basket, you can see it actually has part of the stakes in it are dyed stakes. And then again, this is twining that's around here with two colors of dyed round reed. And has the wooden base that we talked about in the beginning. And this one has a handle. I didn't show you a minute ago, but it has like a bucket handle, a bell handle. And it fastens with two little ears, they're called here in the rim, and it folds down. Baskets will last for a long time if they're cared for. One of the problems we have here in this area is mildew on baskets. So, all right, that's one design. And we talked about this one a few minutes ago. You can see that the stakes in that makes the design and the way the handle is done. And then this egg basket is sometimes called a hip basket because you see how it comes out, I guess, like our hips do. And again, it has the round reed, but the way you place those and weave over them gives you the shape in that basket too. Then this little has a design in it. And what you actually do, you start out with a 3/8 inch piece of reed that makes your stake, and then you have to split them. And then you put this design in. I hope you can see that it is a arrow design as it goes around the basket. And again, you can pick a color, like I've got blue in this one, but you could pick the color that you like to put in it. I talked about this one a minute ago that has just the seagrass, very natural. This basket has the beehive. You can add other things to it and little bees on it. And the yellow is spaced out. It's not, the rows are not next to each other. With this basket, it has a chain in it. The color is put in 3 rows together, and when you do that, you get that chain. This one you see has the 5 rows of it. You still have a chain if you look at it just right. It's just bigger, but that's another design. That's a design that is used a lot, is the chain design. This basket just simply has little pieces of reed that are stuck under after you get through and makes X's all the way around the basket. This one also has a divider in the center. This is supposed to be a wine basket. Okay, now let's talk about this basket a little bit more. This is an oblong tray basket, and the base is a wooden base, and you see it's been stained a dark cherry, and then the reed's been chosen to match that, and all the stakes are glued in before you start. And on this basket, instead of twining, we did 2 rows or 3 rows of 11/64 reed around here, which is a very small reed, and that takes the place of the twining. Now the reason I have zip ties on it, this is in the process of being finished up. That holds your rim in place until you get the lashing done, which is the little piece of reed that holds the rim on the basket. This one has rosewood handles here, which add to the beauty of the basket. So, you know, you can stain this, you can paint, actually you can paint them, and there are a lot of stains you can get. Let me talk a minute about stains since we're talking about that. You can use any stain that you can get that's at Lowe's or local place, and you can also use this is called Weaver's stain, and you can buy this. Mostly you have to get it at basket supply places, and they'll ship it to you. This is walnut. There's a dark walnut. To be honest, I don't see much difference in the two. And then there's driftwood, which is a gray. There's oak, there's maple, all the different colors of stain. And that's what I use a lot. The one thing about it, if you're going to use a stain and you're going to use it in something that's going to have food in it, you need to kind of check that out and make sure that it's food safe. So I wanted to share with you a basket that I had designed. I did the inside of the basket. You can see it's a wooden base too, but I did the inside of the basket, and I call this a mail basket. Somebody said I should call it a stationary basket, but anyway, this part back here is for catalogs or tall mail you get. This is for the long envelopes that you turn upside down like that, and then there's space here for in whatever you want to put in there. You put stamps and other envelopes in there too. And then I treated this just like any of these other baskets that have the wooden base, except you see it doesn't go all the way around. I made it at an angle, and so that you can get into the different parts of it. And then I use blue, as you see in the basket. So I'm real excited about this basket that I finally got it together. I have these ideas, and it takes me a while to get them done. But anyway, by the way, if you are interested in classes, we have classes that we offer, so you can contact Dogwood Crafters. And we, of course, this year we haven't had classes because of COVID. And but we hope to start back next year, just hoping that we can. I wanted to finish with showing you a basket that I'm working on. I'm going to be teaching it this in a few days, and it's this old basket that I'm inherited, and I'm using it for a pattern. And one of the things that's a little different, I'll just share with you on this basket real quick, that I'm going to be doing on my basket. And we used to do this years ago when I first started out. The lashing on this is not reed, it's actually cane. And it makes a real pretty lashing. The color in this basket has faded out over the years, and it's just shows its age, like we do when we get older. This is what I've been working on, and it's taken me days to work on this. First of all, we're going to look at the bottom. The bottom of this basket is diagonal weave, or twill weave, some people call it. It's what I use when I teach chair seat weaving, and makes a very pretty bottom. Then, as you turn up the stakes, you have 50 stakes on the long side, which gives you 49 here and 49 on the other side, and it makes a lot of little stakes. You noticed on the other baskets, especially when we started and I showed you the bases, that it was 3/8 inch. Look how small these are. This makes this much more difficult to do, for me at least, than it does to use those wider reeds. The way I do this is I look at the basket that I'm copying, and then I start at the bottom with row 1, and that row was over 3 under 3. That's something that's a little different. Normally your basket is done over 1 and under 1. This basket's done with 3s basically all the way up, except in the center. In the center, the design changes. Also notice that when you get up halfway, the diagonal weave in it changes, goes the other direction. And it's been a challenge and fun to do this basket. I am working right now on typing up the directions, because every row is different from the row before or the row after. So it's been a lot of fun to do, but it has challenged me, and that's good, be challenged sometimes. I do have baskets at Dogwood Crafters if you want to see more, and I would invite you to come into Dogwood, because we do have a nice display of crafts there, and we have a lot of basket makers, a lot of all kinds of crafts. So just come by sometime. We're open right now. We'll be till the end of December, unless something happens that we have to be closed down again. We'll be open until the end of the year, 7 days a week, and from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. I think on Sunday maybe it's 4, but come by, see us at Dogwood. And I do appreciate the opportunity to have done this video, and hope you get enjoy the basket making, and do take a class if you don't do baskets already. Thank you.